Hello everyone, my name is Quant and today we're gonna take an update check on my Static Strike Orb of Storm Inquisitor Templar. And I wanted to show off this character because when I actually made the video of this character, the build was very much undone and there were many thoughts, and I basically just showed you basically what I had, and at that time I was around level 60-ish. Now this character is level 76, meaning that I am using the Dorianis scepter and the Dorianis belt as well. And also on getting the character up and running, I have, like you can see in your screen, I have Blood Rage for example. And I got a dual curse setup. I have a Warlord's Mark and also Assassin's Mark. Like I explained in the video about the actual build itself, I'm not using any elemental penetration in this build, as it would kinda neglect the fact that I'm using the ascendancy that makes crits ignore elemental resistances. And I'm not 100% sure if it ignores, well, if it puts their resistance to 0 and then you reduce their resistances. I'm not entirely sure, but with Warlord's Mark I can sustain both HP wise and mana wise, as I am using Mind Over Matter. Now using Mind Over Matter doesn't really need to be done with this build, but I felt like I could use it. But this character is very much able to go out without Mind Over Matter. Because I'm basically sustaining myself mana wise with the Warlord's Mark. It means that if they are not cursed, like curse immunity, is a big pain in the ass, as I will just run out of mana like instantly, and for that I would actually have to use a mana leech gem or just completely remove Mind Over Matter. So as of this character, as it is right now, I'm not really able to run curse immune maps. I do have a mana flask though, which I use on curse immune blue packs or rare packs, as you also will be able to see in this clip that you see right now. But like I said, the character is level 76, so everything is up and running with the character. I'm using all three marks, all three charges to great effect. And please note that this map was really bad to run. It's a tunnel map. It's a rare tunnel map. It's a yellow tunnel map, so to say. And it was actually really bad to run. There are many of these engages, which we are seeing right now, that are not with my charges up and running, which is why you can see it's kind of wonky. I also have, like now for example, there are no charges. I also have a self-cursing, but the curse is running on Herald of Thunder. But I do have a self-cursing, just so I can actually curse them before I actually start killing stuff, because I need to kill someone that is shocked to get the Herald of Thunder triggering, and that way it all rolls. But this character is definitely best played in open maps where you can use the great movement speed with jumping around and just hitting stuff from pack to pack really efficiently. Coming up here, you can see a curse immune pack of blues. So here I have to activate my potion, and these hit rather hard. My potion was actually not really enough, so there are many attacks here that are not actually with the static strike, and it's kind of hard to actually find a match of where how strong of a mana potion I should use, because if I use too strong, then it will just fill up completely, and if I use a too weak one, I will just run out of mana as soon as I'm getting hit hard by curse immune enemies. So there's kind of has to be like a mix there. As you can see here, my DPS fully buffed. That means with full endurance charge and full frenzy charges, and the use of the ascendancy When I cast a spell, I get a buff, and when I attack, I get a buff. With all that fully buffed, I have a DPS with static strike on 13,372. And Orb of Storm got a DPS of 2,280. Keep in mind, the Orb of Storm DPS is with just Orb of Storm triggering itself. That means the sap that it shoots out just without you actually casting anything in the AoE. So I at the very least, double the DPS of the Orb of Storm. But here we have the character, as I said, I'm level 76, and to some of you this might be a little bit confusing, like, wait, weren't you like level 59 when you made the other video like a month ago? And yes, I were, and I have a tendency when I play Path of Exile that I actually just come up with an idea, I build up the character, but as soon as the character is actually able to be played, I don't really play them that much anymore. Sometimes I play longer depending on if I play with a friend or something like that. But for me, with Path of Exile, like 70 or 80% of the fun factor of Path of Exile is creating the character for me. Which means that most of my characters end up around level 70-ish, depending on when they actually are, so to say, complete, when they don't really need anything more to be considered upgraded. So with the character now at level 76, I do have my Dorianis Catalyst, Ball Scepter, and I do have the Dorianis Imitation Heavy Belt with a lightning damage setup. This belt in particular is not really super needed, but I got it for like a Chaos, which was really cheap. Like I could for that one Chaos get a okay-ish yellow belt or just find a belt with percentage physical damage, maybe some armor, life, and some resistances. This is not really that incredibly needed, but it feels the theme of the character being lightning damage, and it also got quite a bit of armor, which I actually value a lot, because this character, even though it already, in my opinion, got quite a bit of armor, it only got an estimated physical damage reduction of 47%. Now this is without endurance charges, which I only have 3 of at the moment, but I plan to take at least 1 in the future because I'm really close to it. The rest of the gear are just rare gears that are okay-ish. The head, I actually aimed for an armor energy shield head because this is where I run my curse setup with Herald of Thunder, Curse and Hit, and Assassin's Mark with Warlord's Mark as well. And I'm actually really happy with this head that I got. It's not the most amazing, but it got a decent amount of armor, life, and resistances, which is exactly what I was looking for with the helm slot itself. And the chest slot is not really that great. I don't actually remember, but I think I just found it 5 linked, and then I just alked it, and I was like, yeah, this is okay because it had a high armor and life, and it had at least 1 high resistance there, lightning. I'm pretty sure this has the max amount of affixes, as you can see here, so I cannot roll it on anything more towards this item. Shield is same there. I just want something with high armor as much as possible. In the future I could take more defenses from shield, but we'll have to see. Boots is just as much resistance as HP and movement speed as possible. This is probably like my worst piece of gear for this character. Rings, I'm just aiming for as much as defenses as possible really, and this one in particular got a little bit of lightning damage attacks, which is just a nice bonus. This amulet I basically only got because it got accuracy and high life, and I don't need any more resistances. This is my hideout, which means that capped resistance is 135, and you can see I'm capped in all of those. Other ring is just, as well, just defenses, and this one I just kept because it got decent defenses and 26% increased elemental damage with weapon is actually quite a bit of damage, especially when you actually buff this up. The rest of the gear I've already talked about. The link setup here I actually changed because I used this chest piece on our other character as well, and I didn't really lose that much. So I have static strike, weapon elemental damage, 4 to 5 faster attack, and multi-strike. The only different from my first video of this character is the weapon elemental damage. Here I had innervate before, and I could run innervate as well, but because innervate would actually increase the damage from Orb of Storm more, but weapon elemental damage increases the static strike damage more. So you could go either really, and like I said, I just went this because it's the same chess piece that I use on another character as well, and I don't want to change whenever I want to play one or the other, and most of my damage comes from the static strikes anyways, so it's not a loss. The head, I've already explained the sockets, it's my cursing. In my weapon I have Temper Shield and Blood Rage linked with increased duration, so I do self-cast both of them, and sometimes I need to use another Temper Shield because my chance to block is not that great. As you can see here, it's only 24%, getting to 27% when activating the Temper Shield. In my shield I have my Determination, Faster Attack and Leap Slam. Determination is still my choice of defensive aura. It gives me 10% increase, reduce physical damage more or less, and I think it's actually underrated because it's been changed wording, so now it gives 48% more armor, which means that it's a new multiplier, meaning that it gives almost half of my armor as an extra, as you can see by the numbers. That is correct. In my gloves I have a little bit of change because I use the same gloves on another character. So instead of having increased area of effect, I just have a stone golem there. It doesn't do much, and that it's the same. It's Orb of Storm, less duration and Iron Will. Preferably I'd like to have increased area of effect or Shame, but like I said, I use this on my other character as well, and that character needs this setup, and it's not really that big of a loss or win anyways, so I'm just going with it. In my boots I have my self-curse setup that I use for bosses or at the start of a fight, because if they don't have Warlord's mark on them, then it's really annoying to fight them. Like I said, curses sustain this character so much. And I have that with Earthshake, Curse on Hit, and same Assassin's Mark and Warlord's Mark. In the tree it's not really that much that have actually changed. I've gone and taken Celestial Punishments. It's the last really big damage node, and sooner or later I might go up and take Celestial Punishment, but I don't think I will because there is no like good way to get there. Like 6 and 18% is not really that good, but it's something that I might do in the future. Other than that, like I said, it's not really that much that have changed, and I don't even remember exactly what actually have changed, but you can see for yourself. It's pretty straightforward. I got the HP down here. So what I plan to do sooner or later now is get the extra power charges, because I get power charges from Assassin's Mark and Endurance Charge. That's really just the main thing that I to get on this character if I continue playing it. Getting these defensive nods would be really good as well, but other than that is pretty much done. As you can see, I have got and taken in the Inevitable Judgment, so I have the last ascendancy, and this, by the way, does not increase your tooltip DPS by any means. It doesn't do anything. Critical strikes ignore enemy elemental resistances, and non-critical strike penetrates 10% of enemy elemental resistances. This is a huge ascendancy. It increases my damage by a lot, but it doesn't actually say so. So you have to take my DPS with a grain of salt, because when I crit, I ignore all elemental resistances. That is huge, and I got that on a video. When I actually took this, I was actually curious if it actually would increase the tooltip DPS or not. I thought it would not, which is kind of why I recorded it, and you can see that at the end of this video. But that's all for this character. I just wanted to give you guys an update on how the character actually turned out, since I made the video on level 59, which is not even close to endgame like whatsoever. It's not mapping, it's not even act 3. I think the character only was in like act 1 or act 2 at the moment. So I wanted to give you guys a heads up, just checking out how this character actually turned out, and I can tell you right away, it turned out great. If you want to make a similar character and you maybe like, I don't want Minor Matter, then yeah, you can definitely drop Minor Matter. It's not a big deal. I just wanted it for the theme of being like a tanky Templar-ish. And since I run Warlord's Mark anyways to get the Enduring Charges and Life Leech on my elemental strikes, like Static Strike and Normal Storm, I just thought like I could run it anyways. But if you don't want that hassle, then you can definitely drop Minor Matter and just use a Life Leech on your Static Strike setup instead, and maybe get a Conductivity Mark or Conductivity Curse or something like that. It's your choice, really. You can definitely drop it though. But that does it for me. If you like this video, then please like and don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.
A throne is the most devious trap of them all.
My mana is spent.
Don't give up yet.
I must have time to gather my will.
Finish this. You are free.